In my last video blog, I referred to the importance of following a clearly defined set of ethical principles. This is important whether you're a software developer or even if you know little about software, because none of us can escape software in today's dangerous cyber world. Whether you realize it or not, software is coming at you from every direction in your life, including more and more of the products you purchase and bring into your home, and even that big product that you park in front of your home. This is what is meant by the phrase Internet of Things world. In this short video blog, I want to share with you an example that demonstrates just one of the many ethical dilemmas we all face in this new world. And I want to share how we all can get better at protecting our privacy, security, and our safety in this dangerous Internet of Things world. The example I want to share relates to self-driving cars, a technology that is already being tested today on our public highways, and it comes with some interesting ethical dilemmas. One of those dilemmas is referred to as the trolley problem, and it goes like this. A self-driving trolley has a braking problem and is about to run over 5 pedestrians. The only way to avoid the pedestrians is to swerve, hitting an embankment that is certain to kill all those on board. Now, suppose there are only 3 people on board. Should it go ahead and swerve, killing all those on board because it saves more lives? What if 2 of the people on board are children? Should it seek to save more children because they have more lives in front of them, more life in front of them to live? You know, when I was in college, I took a course called Situation Ethics. And in that course, we considered this exact scenario, but not from the perspective of self-driving cars, rather from the perspective of a real human faced with this situation. But I don't think any of us who took that course ever thought we'd be living in a time when computer programmers would be writing software that could actually make that decision affecting real human life. But that is exactly where we are today. Computer programmers are writing software to control self-driving cars that are being tested on our public highways right now as we speak. So the question I want you to think about is who should be making these decisions? Certainly, I think we all can agree it shouldn't be the computer programmer, but who should be making them? The tech company that employs the programmer? Your government? The general public? Brad Smith, the president of Microsoft, in his book, Tools and Weapons, The Promise and Peril of the Digital Age, shares his belief that technology companies have their own ethical responsibilities, and that technologies such as artificial intelligence, which is the technology relied on in self-driving cars, should be developed and used in a manner consistent with, in his words, broadly held societal values. When I read this, it caused me to step back, and to think about those words. And I wondered, does a set of broadly held societal values actually exist, especially when you consider all of the people across the world who are brought up in diverse cultures and beliefs? And even if such a set of broadly held societal values does exist, who do we want deciding what they are? Tech companies? Your government? You know, I think it's great that the tech companies such as Microsoft are taking this problem seriously. But I think we all know that in the final analysis, tech companies are going to prioritize making profit over doing what's best for you and me. And the fact is, many people simply don't trust their government. So what else could we do? As one example, in an article that appeared in Communications of the ACM entitled Crowdsourcing Moral Machines, an argument is put forth for crowdsourcing to shed light on the general public's view of ethical decisions related to self-driving cars, such as the trolley problem. One interesting point made in the article is that the purpose of crowdsourcing in this particular case is not to shed light on what people would actually do in a certain situation, but rather what they would believe to be the right course of action when considered from the comfort of an armchair. A point highlighted is that we can program cars to do what we would like to do rather than what we would do on impulse in a split-second decision. Now think about that. Now, I have always been leery of the idea of self-driving cars for fear that the software would miss an important point that humans would pick up on. But this article caused me to step back and take a look at this from a different perspective. We as humans have an ability to make very good decisions, but we also know that we make our best decisions when we have time to reflect and take the time to engage the slow thinking, logical side of our brain. And it occurred to me when I read this article that with self-driving cars, we have an opportunity to do just that. An argument to be made against crowdsourcing is that individual people may be biased or ill-informed, whereas leaving the decision to a group of experts with experience is more likely to lead to the best overall decision. But think about this. If we go back to that trolley problem, it is quite possible that if you had a crowdsourcing experiment, that given enough time to think, most people might reach the conclusion that they would want to save the children over the older people because they have more life still to live. Whereas if you left it to a government group of experts, it is quite possible that they would decide against the children for fear of age discrimination challenges. With crowdsourcing, we can engage people from around the world with diverse cultures and beliefs. And who knows, maybe we would discover a set of ethical principles that we all can agree to that transcends our differences. If we don't engage and listen to others, we may never know. My approach to getting better at anything is based on the Essence thinking framework and is explained in the book, How to Get Better at Anything. When we developed the Essence standard, we did in fact engage people from around the world with diverse beliefs and cultures, and we were able to agree on a common ground essential on all successful software endeavors. That is, in fact, what Essence is. For more information on the background of Essence, refer to the book Shy Boys, Notes from 10 Years of Working with Software Engineering Giants. Both books are available at LeanPub or Amazon.com.